subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. You are about to become a witness.
Captured on camera. The Runaways.
Yeah, another thing about Portland is like everybody's doped up on heroin.
They can take your needles, but they can't arrest you if you have this card. Gonna go buy some drugs.
Portland, Oregon, one of America's havens for young runaways.
Heroin use in Portland, for whatever reason, is way above national averages, and it's hard to believe that's not hitting the youth.
Bad dog!
Have a nice night.
Because I don't want my kid to one day be the person walking by to yell, get a job, you know?
It's very difficult for anybody to watch a 14-year-old girl living in the streets.
Hundreds on the street. How do they survive? Why do they come here?
There's a lot of good kids out here, and they're not throwaways, you know? We can't give up on them, we can't throw them away. Are you clothed? Can you get clothed for us?
We'll step inside their world. Captured on camera, the Runaways. 2 million kids run away each year. That's 3 times as many compared with just a decade ago. In most cities, street kids are a population of outcasts who live outside the view of most of us. In Portland, Oregon, though, they are quite visible. The city, which has become a major center for cheap drugs in the Northwest, has decided that punishment alone is not the answer to the growing problem. Is their approach working? See for yourself as we spend 3 weeks on the streets with these lost children. For them, drugs are a way of life, and spare change can mean survival. Their language is raw, and where we could, we left it that way because no one can describe their reality better than they can. Portland, Oregon has a large population of runaway kids for a city of its size. Over several weeks, we followed 3 of them. Jesse, only on the streets of Portland for 2 weeks, is learning some hard lessons about homelessness and being alone.
Every time someone tells me to get a job, I'm just like, what, so I can be a slave like you?
Emily, who is fighting the clock, is due to have a baby in less than 2 months.
I know I can't be out here, and there's no way my baby can be out here.
Hey man, spare any change for a wannabe rock star?
And Chris, on the streets for 5 years, bound by his heroin addiction.
Can you spare any change at all, sir?
Chris hit the streets at the age of 16. Now 21, he spends his days panhandling to support his heroin addiction.
Spare any change at all? Have a nice night.
This morning, Chris is feeling ill from withdrawal. It's taken him an hour to panhandle $10, just enough for one fix.
Spare any change at all, sir? Have a nice day.
On the surface, Portland, Oregon seems like an odd place to have a homeless youth problem. The city is pristine. As the only major metropolitan area for hundreds of miles, many feel that's why there are so many kids. They come by train, bus, hitchhiking, and they come for drugs, mostly black tar heroin. The I-5 highway has become a major artery for drug traffic that finds its way from Mexico through LA, San Francisco, Portland, and Seattle.
Oh, you don't give kisses, but you like that, huh? Oh, they got alcohol and everything. Hey, what's going on?
Party celebrating the building of the museum.
Is it open yet?
No, tomorrow.
Can I come in? I'm going to a store to cash in all my change for bills, and then gonna go buy some drugs. There's 1, 2. Going to outside in clinic because it's a free clinic. They have the needle exchange there.
Portland is considered by many to be the heroin capital of the West Coast. 2,100 addicts went into detox in a single Portland clinic in 1998 alone. And while the city doesn't condone drug use, it does support a controversial program to provide addicts with a needle exchange. The goal, to avoid the spread of hepatitis C and AIDS among drug users.
What would you do if it wasn't for this exchange program?
Probably be stuck using dirty needles.
At Outside In, over 250,000 needles were exchanged in 1999. Outside In is one of 4 city agencies that offer services to the city's homeless youth population. Kathy Oliver is the director.
In 1989, we started one of the first needle exchange programs in the country. Actually, bottom line, it comes down to the fact that drug users who are not in treatment, who are active users, are pretty expendable in this society.
For a long time, I thought I had AIDS, and I didn't care. I was using needles after friends of mine that had like Hep C.
In 1999, the rate of HIV among homeless youth was estimated to be 10 times that of the general population.
I finally found out that it was a false positive, that I didn't really have it. I was negative for HIV. Now I'm just like so careful. I don't share with anybody. I get new ones, you know. Hey, who's down there right now?
Our dealer sitting on the stairs right there.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have good coke, so I'm told.
No, I'm just getting a piece of black.
But don't bring those guys over there. He'll freak out.
Yeah. Okay.
He's sitting on the stairs right there.
Okay. Has he got good sized pieces?
Yeah.
Okay.
Want me to bring you down there?
Yeah, please. Hey, can I get a 10 of Shiva? Do you guys have a piece?
Yeah.
Let me compare it to the size of this one, because this is tiny. I don't think it'll get me well either. I have to go do this, so. You want that? No. I just made a coffee so they'd let me use their bathroom. If I had waited, you know, much longer, I would have felt like crap. Would have felt pretty bad.
There's been a lot of evidence that Portland's one of the West Coast capitals of heroin. I mean, we have more deaths per capita than just about any city on the West Coast.
As Portland's elected city commissioner, Eric Sten is aware that his city has a reputation when it comes to heroin.
There's pretty clear statistics that show heroin use in Portland, for whatever reason, is way above national averages, and it's hard to believe that's not hitting the youth.
I got something for you if you're sick.
Yeah.
You can pet him if you want. Yeah, he drinks out of the water fountains.
Now 18, Emily says she's more comfortable out here on the street, but things are going to get complicated very soon. She hopes to leave Portland and the streets before her baby is born.
I don't really want my kid to be part of society, to be like immersed in society. Even though like we're on the outside of society, we're still a really big part of society. Especially all these little sheep running around, all the yuppies and everything. It's one of the biggest reasons. I know this is a huge responsibility, but I just couldn't give my kid away to anybody, because I don't want my kid to one day be the person walking by to yell, "Get a job," you know?
Joel is the baby's father. Despite the fact that Emily is just weeks away from giving birth, the reality of having a baby is still sinking in.
I've had girls that have had abortions and whatnot, but I've never had a kid that's actually going to be there in my hands. It's mine.
He changes his mind every day. Sometimes he's happy, sometimes he's like pissed off, sometimes he's like, it's just crazy. I think he'll be happier with it once it actually comes out, and he can like hold it and see it and like touch it.
I tried heroin like a couple of days ago for the first time, and it was lame. Yeah, I'm just gonna write like homeless, anything helps. Scared and homeless or something.
Jesse is 16 and comes from a middle-class background. After failing 9th grade 3 times because of her drug problems, she struck out for the road.
Cool.
So far, she traveled 1,900 miles from her home in Missouri with her boyfriend. But a few days ago, he left her abruptly.
Like before he left though, he gave me like this big hug, and he's like, "You're gonna be okay, I know you're gonna be okay," and blah, 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 blah. That's not cool to do that to a person, to f***ing leave them by themselves. You know, I don't have a weapon, I don't have a dog. Yeah, the best part about pulling a sign though is like, you don't get change, you just get bills. But like, you can't do it like in the city though, or like downtown. You gotta like go to like a freeway exit. I hope we don't get any groceries. Yeah, we had like 4 bags of groceries and we couldn't like make any more money. I know that like I was really like I did some really f***ed fucked up things and made my parents go through like a lot of hell. But it was like their standards were like way too high, and it's just like I just wanted to do my own thing and I wanted to be my own person. Is this 11? You know, my mom was just totally cool with like supporting me and like the way I wanted to dress and, you know, the things that I wanted to do, but my dad was just totally just like, you have to do this and you have to do that.
When we come back, we learn that street life is often violent and homeless kids are particularly at risk.
No, he just kicked me in the back on my broken ribs and kicked me in the head.
How you doing? Hey, donations for you.
From Missouri, Montana, Washington, Colorado, and Utah, the kids we found on the street had come from rural western states. And Oregon's open-minded attitude has allowed both drug use and street life to thrive.
I don't have bugs or anything.
For many kids, the attraction is a low-grade heroin known as black tar, which is cheap and abundant on the streets of Portland.
I'm about to do some shitty American heroin.
For many runaway kids, life on the streets resembles the social order of high school. Many different factions of street kids coexist in Portland. These kids belong to a group called the Portland Street Family.
This is Shorty. This is my baby, my little pimp daddy.
Since the 1980s, the concept of the street family has become the codified social unit for many of Portland's homeless kids. Veterans of life on the streets take the roles of street moms and street dads.
There's a group of people out here which we call our family. We help each other out. Granted, if they need their ass whooped, we give them their ass whooping.
Michael belongs to the Portland Street Family and has been living on the streets of Portland for 6 years since he ran away from home.
If someone screws up really, really bad, we beat the shit out of them. We take them up on start, and then we sell them, like if they owe us money or something. But that's only like last resort.
Just moments after talking about his violent life on the street, Michael walks around a corner and is attacked by another member of his own street family.
No, he just kicked me in the back on my broken ribs and kicked me in the head.
Passing by, Chris lends a hand, but hasn't much sympathy for members of the street family.
See, this is your street family. They do shit like this. Oh, because someone cut someone's hair, they're gonna fucking beat somebody up.
There are 4 main agencies in the city of Portland offering to help these kids. But 55 emergency beds are not even a drop in the bucket for an estimated 1,500 homeless kids out on the streets.
If you can barely breathe and stand up, you need to go to the hospital.
I'm not going to a hospital.
The street family does not make up the majority of teens on the streets of Portland. Most of the kids are squatters like Emily, Chris, and Jesse. They live a transient lifestyle and keep their distance from the street family.
Oh yeah, you guys wondering about street families? I bet these guys have a street family.
Hey,
who's your street dad?
You guys got street family?
You guys have street moms, street dads.
Street family?
Yeah,
dude, this is my home.
This is my sister, dude.
I've been here since I was 10
my best
years
friend.
old.
Actually, I came to the streets to live my own life where I don't have somebody trying to tell me what to do when I'm my own person.
I don't know, those kids are a bunch of bullshit.
Despite their differences, the street family and transients have one thing in common: drugs.
I would say almost 100% of the kids are using drugs, and in fact, we're seeing more injection drug use than we ever have.
Of the cities that track heroin deaths, Portland had the highest per capita rate in 1999.
I was gonna quit here, but you get so bored in this town because there's nothing to do, and it's the same shit over and over again, and yeah, you just go and do it because there's so much around.
In July of 2000, the Drug Abuse Warning Network reported an increase in heroin overdoses in most U.S. cities, but not as dramatically as in Seattle or Portland.
You find your shoe?
In 1998, members of Portland's business community and concerned citizens formed an exploratory group called the Citizens Crime Commission to probe into the increasing number of homeless youth on their streets. The commission concluded that they would provide youth with enough support and structure to get off the street. The business community raised funds and established a transitional housing program called New Avenues for Youth.
The organization was heavily backed by the business community because they were concerned about the large number of kids that were in the streets.
Ken Cowdery has been the director of New Avenues for Youth for 6 months.
In many cases, street kids have just blended into the streetscape and people don't see them anymore. The compassion and the generosity demonstrated in this community is extraordinary. I've never really seen anything quite like it.
Where's the rave tonight? All right, see y'all later.
Officer Thomas Powell has been with the Portland Police Department for 5 of his 14 years as a police officer. While Officer Powell holds street kids accountable if they break the law, he does so with compassion.
I'm gonna use my officer discretion and not take you to jail right now, okay? There was one kid who told another officer that if Officer Powell or Officer Mack and a few other named officers were to be alone in O'Brien Square, that they would surround him and attack him and beat him down. That was a threat that I took seriously.
No, let's go box, dude. There's no point to fighting, dude.
Danger and death are something kids living on the street face every day.
Like, I've seen people get shot, you know, I've seen people get stabbed, you know, but it was like people that I didn't really know.
But in 1999, 17-year-old Alex Eisen, known on the streets as Tomorrow, was murdered by a sexual predator. This incident left a deep scar on Portland's homeless youth community, especially Chris, Alex's best friend.
We cared a lot for each other. We did. We knew each other for a few years, and we just, you know, like from the first time we met, we just clicked, you know.
In the late 1990s, Chris and Alex were addicted to heroin, and like many of Portland's homeless youth, became prostitutes to support their habits.
The night that she came up missing, I begged her not to go. I told her I would go pull a date, you know, because I knew something was going to happen. I knew something bad was going to happen.
A few days after she was reported missing, Alex's body was discovered strangled in a city park.
And I took her death really, really hard. It was like the most painful death I've ever had to experience. Gotta do it. I've been putting it off for way too long.
It's been more than a year since Alex's death. Today, Chris and his friend Regan have decided to visit her grave.
That looks like it's beautiful. What corner though? This corner or the? Did you find it? Is it hers? That was the first time I actually met her.
Heroin addiction is often what makes the difference between being able to get off the street or not. Once kids become dependent on shooting up several times a day, their only goal becomes finding enough money to get that next fix.
Hey man, spare any change for a wannabe rock star?
When we come back, heroin and its hold on the street kids of Portland. Chris has been strung out on heroin for the last 5 years. To avoid getting sick from withdrawal, he panhandles at least $40 a day to support his habit.
Hey man, spare any change for a wannabe rock star?
In 1999, Portland had the highest heroin deaths per capita in the United States. With over 1,500 kids a night on the city's doorstep, many use heroin to dull past pain and present boredom.
Hey, can you guys spare any change for some guitar lessons? I really need them. Listen to how bad I suck. Hey man, can you do me a favor and like not piss there? You know, if the cops drive by and see you with a beer, they're gonna stop.
A little smack of heroin.
Shut up. I wanna get away from that kid. He's bugging me, man. Hey, you folks spare any change at all? Have a nice night. I don't miss a lot of the stuff that happened to me when I was a kid, but a lot of times I do wish that I was still a kid. You know? Things were happier back then.
The backgrounds of Portland's homeless kids are telling. 57% have been in foster care, and 81% come from abusive families, according to data collected by New Avenues for Youth, a Portland social service agency.
What? You need, shut the fuck up, you little bitch. I'm serious. You did. It all went downhill when my mom married my stepdad, though. Really. Cool. Dinner. Spare any change at all, man? I was kind of glad when I had my opportunity to leave. You know, it got me out of there.
With limited funding and resources, Portland is ill-equipped to effectively assist and house the estimated 100 new homeless kids who enter their system each month. And the numbers of kids hitting the streets each year are increasing.
But if you want to go inside a restaurant,
it is your destiny, kitty. You must get in the bag.
For homeless kids in Portland, the laws are a baffling labyrinth. Clean needles are legal.
Okay, ready? Let's go.
Yet sleeping on the street is illegal. 18-year-old Emily and her boyfriend Joel have been sleeping underneath a freeway overpass for a week now.
What'd they say?
They're all, excuse me, heroin addicts. Oh, they like drove through, like the guys in the back of the truck. I was like, okay.
Well, we famous heroin addicts, so
I haven't shot dope since I found out I was pregnant at all. I don't want to be misrepresented. Yeah, I'm 7 months pregnant, but I am not a junkie. I want to drink sometimes, but I can't because it makes me sick, and I don't want to have a retard for a kid. That would just suck really bad.
Despite being out on the street, Emily has had access to prenatal care for her baby at the Outside In clinic in Portland.
I'm just gonna go in for my checkup. I already got a sonogram done. I mean, I think they're cool as hell. I'd be down for another one because I just like to see the baby.
You gotta watch out for the blackberries because they're sharp. I gotta pee. Oops, step on this blanket. Yeah. I'll have to tie him up.
I want some of that to put it so it at least smells good. I can smell it from here, so
The essential oils, the aromatherapy.
Would you mind tying the cat to your bag? He won't do anything. I just don't want him around the dog.
When we come back, Chris tries to shake his addiction. He's tried before, but withdrawal sickness has gotten the best of him.
It just sneaks into your life and finds a way to become the center of it.
You will find runaway teens in every major city in America. But in Portland, Oregon, the estimated 1,500 kids who call the street home have become an accepted part of the community. Runaways gravitate to this city because of cheap heroin and the open-minded attitude of drug use and street life. Is the environment a little too accepting, too comfortable for hundreds of teens in desperate need of structure, accountability, and guidance?
Can you spare any change? That's okay. People look down on you because you smell bad, your hair is all nappy, and it's just like, I come from the earth. I don't come from a store, you know?
16-year-old Jessie has been alone in Portland for 1 week since her boyfriend left her. While she feels lonely without him, she has no problem surviving on her own.
Getting cigarette butts so I can roll a cigarette. Hey, do you guys want a paper?
Paper?
Yeah.
Today, she's found a lucrative spot to panhandle.
It's like right up there where those flashing signs are. And like people go in there all like uptight, and then they come out and they're all, oh yeah, here's $5. This strip club's nasty though. I haven't been inside of it yet, but like every time people come out, they're like, oh my God, that's fucking disgusting. Yeah, another thing about Portland is like everybody's doped up on heroin. It's like I feel like I'm the only person that's not fucking slamming drugs or some shit like that. Did you spare any change? That's okay. I should be smoking. You should be going into a strip club, buddy. Fucking perv. I used to have a knife, but I traded it for some pot. I got some mace now, though. I found some. Here, I'll show it to you. I found some mace, like, in our squat, like, not in our squat, but, like, out in the woods and stuff. Or not in the woods, but, like, in the bushes, just.
Yeah. To get someone.
Hey, can you spare any change? That's okay. Like, sitting outside of here, fucking perverts that walk out thinking I'm a prostitute and shit like that. It's just like, fucking get down the fucking road, man. I'm not for sale.
Spare any change? Come on, spare any change at all? Spare any change? Hey, spare any change at all? I'll vote for Ralph if you spare some change. Did you see the Secret Service come over?
It's been 14 hours since Chris has used heroin, and he's beginning to suffer from withdrawal.
Spare any change at all, folks? I can hear it. Spare any change at all? Please. Spare any change at all, man? Have a nice night. I'm dope sick. My teeth hurt really bad. Spare any change at all?
Sorry.
Feeling like mugging somebody.
You ever done that?
I don't think I ever would either. I need to make 25 bucks so I can get well tonight, so I can sleep, and then so I can have something for the morning. Spare any change, man?
Do you ever want to step outside of yourself and take control again, kind of thing?
Yeah. All the time. All the time. Even when I try it, it doesn't work. Hey man, you got extra smoke? Yeah.
Take it back.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm dope sick. Kicking heroin. So I've been throwing up all day. I'm not gonna commit to it because every time I say that I'm not going back to it, I always do. So whatever happens, happens, you know.
Like, I had this dream about being white trash or something last night. It was really weird, like all these weird white trash people everywhere, and like this really like dirty white trash house, and like it was just weird. I didn't like it at all. I got scared when I woke up. I was like, no, I'm not gonna be white trash.
Emily's boyfriend Joel is hopping a freight train to Northern California. Emily will join him in a few days.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna go hop a train back home for a minute and go see my folks.
Emily's not going?
Yeah, in a couple days. She can't hop a train, you know, being pregnant and all.
So I'm gonna get up like 50 bucks and get a bus ticket.
Emily's sister Amber is also in Portland. Amber was arrested for heroin possession shortly after arriving a week ago. Emily will remain here until Amber gets out of jail.
Yeah, she hasn't got out of jail yet.
I don't know why she's still in jail, but
They may want to keep her in holding till she detoxed.
While saving up money to buying a van and then traveling around in this van. I actually do have a lot of clothes, but I don't ever change my clothes. Where do you keep them? In my pack.
Jessie has been in Portland for a week and she's a little homesick. Today she has decided to call her mom in Missouri.
No change from you today, Fountain, huh?
Jessie says she left home to escape a strict father and ran away after she got out of rehab. She's been struggling with cocaine addiction and has tried heroin since arriving in Portland, but she still calls home several times a week to assure her mom that she is alive and well.
Hey, what's going on? If you're sitting up against a building, like the cops will come, you'll be like, move, and you'll be like, f you, motherfucker, and just go sit on the other side of the sidewalk, because they can't f with you then. Yeah, I kind of miss that, her crawling in my bed at night. I'd always be like, yeah, you can come snuggle with me. All right, I love you. Bye. I'm gonna stop calling her as much, because like, she doesn't sound as surprised to hear from me. And I like it when someone's surprised to see me or hear from me, you know? I think she's come to an understanding that it's like, this is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm living, you know? And I tell her what I do, you know? I don't hide anything from her. I'll tell her and be like, oh yeah, I was so drunk and, you know, I stabbed some guy in the face or something, you know? And she's just like, oh my God. It's just the other party.
What kind of party?
Chris lasted almost 24 hours without using heroin before withdrawal got the best of him. Too physically ill to panhandle, he pawned his $175 Squire electric guitar for $50.
It just sneaks into your life and finds a way to become the center of it. You know, it's like, it's got a mind of its own, you know?
When we come back, Powell goes out on patrol at night.
Are you clothed?
Trying to keep a line of communication open between the kids on the street and the law.
Oh, well, you know.
What did you get arrested for?
How come the cops can park on the sidewalk, but we can't?
Because they're cops, that's why.
But they're not above the law.
Portland, Oregon is very tolerant of its homeless youth population. The sight of masses of panhandling street kids throughout the downtown is commonplace. But for Officer Thomas Powell, who spends most of his time dealing with homeless kids, accountability seems to be the only effective policy.
I don't relish it and get any gratification out of arresting these kids, but sometimes it's the only accountability they have in their life. 2856 will be out in the square. This is what we call it, Portland's living room. And it was her friend.
Lost another one to the street, another kid.
Who?
Shaggy. He goes by the name of Shaggy.
Shaggy? Shaggy OD'd. Oh my gosh.
Sucks.
This suck. It's heroin, man.
Yeah.
So I don't see long term, you know. Some kids die out here, some kids move on. I have had a couple people that, you know, I've dealt with and interacted with come up and say, hey, Officer Powell, and I didn't recognize them. No idea who they were. You know, they were clean and sober. 2856. I'm going to be checking on a guy. We're at 15th, Northwest 15th, dead ends at Davis. Somebody's bed, pillow, and sleeping bag. It's a cooker for heroin, and that might have been what he was doing right there, because it looks like there's some heroin still in there. It's don't really want to pick that up without gloves on, but yeah, see how they burned it on the bottom, and they cook up their heroin there. They didn't want nothing to do with me. Took off.
It is illegal to camp within Portland's city limits. Officer Powell routinely checks out popular squatting areas looking for trespassers and kids with outstanding warrants.
Somebody's pants.
Was it Adidas?
Are you clothed? Can you get clothed for us? Okay. They're naked, so we'll give them the courtesy of putting their clothes back on. Really
My name's Pixie, by the way.
Pixie?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Filthy Eric. Yes.
Filthy?
Yeah, filthy.
What happened to your arm right there?
I was a little self-destructive when I was younger.
I guess. What'd you cut yourself with?
Everything from razor blades to broken glass to
Oh, dude.
Swiss Army knife.
Has anybody else been down here tonight?
No.
Night. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it doesn't look like anybody else is in there. Well, yeah, maybe there is. You look in there, you see the discarded paint cans and beer and bottles of this alcohol or that alcohol. You'll probably see a lot of needles in there too. Now, this is a really popular place for the street kids to come and sleep.
Hey, did you hear about the boy that died today?
Is it Shaggy?
Yeah.
Who OD'd?
Yeah.
He died today?
What was his real name?
The street name is Shaggy. I don't know what his real name is. I never had any cause. I never had any cause to arrest him.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I didn't even know he did heroin.
No.
If you guys want to sleep down here, you know.
Yeah.
If ODOT comes down here, the Department of Transportation, they might call us and we may have to arrest you, okay? Because you'll be trespassing if you're down here, okay? All right, well, we're going to get out of your business. You guys be safe out here, all right?
All right, thank you.
Don't cut your arms anymore, okay?
I haven't in years.
Okay.
10-4, guard hole and Mullen.
I want to have like a point to my life, something to do. If I had my own like commune, I could, you know, like make stuff and grow my own garden, so I'd have my own food and like have a cow and a chicken or a few chickens and like a goat.
You're gonna have a baby. That's like
yeah, and a baby.
Incredible.
Yeah, I know. I know I can't be out here, and there's no way my baby can be out here. I would just like feel like crap. And if I saw somebody else with a baby out here, I think they deserve to get their ass kicked.
Emily has been alone in Portland for a week since her boyfriend Joel hopped a freight train to California.
Yeah, everything helps, man. I just want to get out of here. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
She remained behind in Portland because her sister Amber was in jail for heroin possession. Today, after serving a 10-day sentence, Amber was released.
I hadn't done it for 5 days before I went and did it when I got caught.
Someone gave me $5.
Amber says she is uncertain if she will remain in Portland awaiting her trial. But Emily still plans on leaving as soon as she panhandles enough money for a bus ticket to meet up with her boyfriend Joel in California.
That's cool. She just gave you 20 bucks?
Yeah. I'm like stoked. I'm even closer. Now I'm 25 bucks away.
When we come back, Portland struggles with its burgeoning homeless population, while the kids we're following face an uncertain future.
It's so boring today. I just want to drink some beer or something.
It's been just 3 weeks since we arrived in Portland. Chris has tried and failed to kick his heroin habit. Jesse has tried heroin for the first time. And Emily, who's clean, is worried that authorities will try to take her baby away.
I don't know what the hell they're doing. It's wingnut social workers. That's what I assume, trying to get up in everybody else's business. Like my sister said, they're all about taking people's kids away here because like they practically like sell babies at adoption agencies. You gotta pay so much money to get a newborn and nobody's getting their claws on my kid.
Today, Emily has decided to leave Portland and find a safe place to have her baby.
You know, if I come back through, I'm not staying for more than a day. And it'll probably be in a motel. Souvenir from Portland. It's part of the train. And they make pretty good weapons if you have to use them.
Today was a really f***ing boring day.
What'd you do today?
Nothing. Sat on my ass and thought about panhandling.
Jessie has been in Portland for more than a month now, and her homeless adventure is beginning to grow old.
I think it's funny, like when you're walking around with a pack and all the yuppies are like, "So, you're going camping?" It's like, yeah.
Often bored and alone, she debates whether or not to return to Missouri. She has used heroin several times.
I did some heroin, like 3 days ago.
How was it?
It was all right. It wasn't like, ooh, you know, give me heroin.
A lot of them get assimilated into the whole victimization culture, so to speak, where they're constantly being told they're a victim. There truly are some kids out here that need to be helped, and there are some kids out here who are making really bad choices.
I wouldn't stay here. I'd get enough money for a bus ticket somewhere. Like, go back to Missouri or something.
Back home?
Yeah, home. It's so boring today. I just want to drink some beer or something.
Jessie remained in Portland for a month and began using heroin frequently. Eventually, she became homesick and returned to Missouri, where she resides with her parents. She also has a full-time job at a fast food restaurant. Chris says he's ready to escape the streets, but he may not have the support system to make it out.
Spare any change at all, sir? Like, if I wake up tomorrow and I'm not feeling that bad, I'm not gonna use tomorrow, you know? Like, what I have, I'll give to my friends that, you know, like, are strung out. I'll give it to them and tell them they can have it. Yeah, but if I'm really feeling bad, I'm gonna do it.
Chris feels that the death of his friend Alex has been the biggest catalyst for change in his life. Despite the many tragedies he has witnessed, he remains hopeful that he will overcome his addiction and plans to get off the streets.
I really am sick and tired of hearing about my friends dying, you know, and just going through the pain of that. It's like I've almost run out of tears, you know. It's really hard for me to cry now over a friend that's dead because I've had it happen so many times. I don't know if I can take it anymore.
Spare any change at all, sir? Have a nice day.
A lot of these kids are having great difficulty coping personally to develop any kind of personal relationship really with anybody. I think when the general population looks at these kids, they tend to think that they're all alike, and they're not.
Bye. Have fun. Bye. Oh, you fucking stink.
Today, Emily is finally leaving Portland.
Miss you, buddy.
It has taken her less than a day to panhandle $50 for a bus ticket to California.
So glad I'm leaving. It's the happiest day of my life. Not really, but pretty damn close.
There you go, $12.50.
Thank you.
Scratch harder, scratch your nails.
For Emily's sister Amber and her friend John, leaving Portland is no easy feat. The lure of heroin has once again delayed their travel plans.
Oh, you know all that money we had for, all that money we had for the bus? Yep. Well, me and Amber got bored and we just blew it all on heroin. We sort of f***ed up right there. I don't know why I did that, but it's pretty dumb. I feel like a moron.
It's time to go. Let me grab my stuff. Well, I'm glad I'm finally leaving this place. I thought it would never happen. Catch you later.
Whoa, look on yonder, I said, what I see. That old red-eyed captain coming after me, but I'm long gone. But like I took it too far, I was long gone. But like I took it too far, long gone, I'm gone. That as long John was gone.
In 1999, an estimated 1,200 homeless kids between the ages of 13 and 21 received social services in Portland, Oregon. With about 100 new street kids arriving each month, helping them get off the streets and back on track for good has become a top priority for the city. That's our report. Thanks for watching. I'm John Siegenthaler.